Doom 2099 comes out tomorrow, actually, and he is one of the two best cards of the month. Um, all these cards seeming to be pretty solid, but this card is going to revive and re-energize and really make single card play better than it ever was. Surtur started to do that, and this is going to be the way to do it. So, Doom 2099 is four power or four cost two power, and when you play exactly one card in a turn, at the end of the turn, he will a random Doom bot 2099 will be generated. That makes that distinction of at the end of the turn means that it won't work with Dark Dimension or Invisible Woman or anything like that, but that you can play cards into Dark Dimension or Invisible Woman and they won't count as having been played on that turn. Right. Something like Mysterio can't play with Doom 2099 because of the fact that each card counts as played, but something like Squirrel Girl can be used with him because it only adds. So, all that distinction out of the way. Some counter synergies obviously are Red Guardian and Enchantress, but in order to get the good full effect of Enchantress, they have to waste turn 6, and there will still be a Doombot that procs at the end of turn 6. So it's all a wash. Hopefully they've done something to account for the fact that most of their turn will be used on a Enchantress, which, to be fair, good turn. But Doom bots are going to be flying every which way. They may not stack all in a location. If you play it on turn 4, you're looking at 17 power spread who knows where. So it's going to be very hard to say I'm going to target this lane with Enchantress and all that. So the other counter is Cosmo for some of the stuff that goes with it, but you don't even have to worry about that either because the unpredictability is going to be so wild with this deck and the flexibility that, yeah. So I'm going to start with some honorable mentions and then move into some decks that I think are going to be key places to start depending on what you like to play. So, first off, these are cards that I think will be good with it. I haven't really thought through some decks or anything with them yet. But the Collector and Devil Dinosaur, Valentina kind of goes with that. There's some cards coming next month that are going to be really, really good with hand generation and all of that. But yeah, collector style decks where you're generating cards, you have a big hand and all that, and then you're generating these Doombots everywhere as you play these cards, and you don't have to play what's in your hand. It's gonna be really good. Surtur likes to play one card a turn, usually big power. Now the Doombots, or even if you play Doom, those aren't going to count to boosting Surtur, but you can play Surtur on 3, and then Doom 2099 on 4, and then finish 5 and 6 with some big slam power, bring up Surtur, spread the Doombots, something like that. Baron Zemo, Mill usually plays one card a turn, struggles with a lot with putting out power, even though it is disrupting the opponent and whatnot. So I think that'll be good. I only have Super Scroll in one deck, but I think at least for this first week, or especially for this first week, Super Scroll is going to be key in mirror matches and whatnot. I used Super Scroll back during Gilgamesh's height and wiped the floor with Zudex that I went up against. So, and then four cost cards. At some point, we could probably see an approximation of a Surfer style deck, maybe. But even without dumping in a ton of fours, things like Rescue, Captain Marvel, Jessica Jones, these cards that, you play them and then you don't really have to do anything and their effects proc the next turn or at the end of the game or what have you, but you're playing these one card a turn style of play with these fours. I think it's going to be really good. Same with Malekith, where he'll be bringing down a card. Again, that won't count. That won't count against the Doom 2099's effect. So, because he's adding the card and not playing it. So, anyways, getting into the decks here. Obviously, ongoing is going to be a place to start with him. Electro. And one of the things that I really like about the design of this card is the design team going back to, okay, Doom's kind of fallen out. What made Doom good? Let's do that with another card that supplements Doom. So back in the day, you'd play Electro, and then you could ramp into Doom, and then Odin, and all this widespread power and whatnot. Now they've added a supplement card in there to really take that to the next level. And here, Electro is ongoing, so it works with Spectrum and Onslaught and all that as well. You have the regular Spectrum play lines if you don't get Doom 2099 out, but if you do, all those bots are ongoing, so they're all going to get bumped up by Spectrum. She won't hit the one that hits at the end of turn 6, but that's okay. She'll still hit the rest. And if you get Electra out, you can put Onslaught down in a lane where the bots are kind of stacking, or maybe where you've got like Ant-Man and, whatever else. So, really good there. Next deck, Zoo. So in the same way that, it's gonna elevate ongoing, it's gonna elevate Zoo. Doom 2099 is already zooing out in his own way, but if you add in a lot of these one costs and the Marvel Boy, and then everything's bumped up in power, so then you can throw down Gilgamesh, or you have the alternate play lines of something like a Patriot with Ultron. You can do Dr. Doom. You could even throw in Electro into this deck as well if you wanted to ramp, but that's not really necessary because Marvel Boy, Blue Marvel, they're doing a lot of the lifting. Gilgamesh is going to win a lane on his own. So then we have what I'm calling Double Down. It's an alternate take on, what is her name? Moon Girl. Terrible with names. Anyways, but it's using Frigga to double up on the Doom 2099. So you throw down Doom 29 on 3, Frigga on 4, Doom 2099 on 5, and on 5 you're going to have 2 Doom 2099s proc, and then you can do Dr. Doom after that, or what have you. And then there's some alternate play lines. You'll notice that Ultron and Patriot are kind of that backup in a lot of these decks. Claw. And of course, I gotta have an Affliction deck. I always gotta do Affliction. It's what I love. So this is actually an Ajax Annihilus Affliction deck. Throwing down things like Goblin and Hobgoblin will proc Doom 2099 and then send that negative power over. Great. Spider-Woman, is a great play because it's a 5/12 potentially, and then you get that proc, and then you can do Ajax on the final turn, or you can do Ajax on 5 into Hazmat on the final turn, and then bump up the Ajax, and it doesn't matter that you've hit your side of the board because the Doom 2099 will proc and bring everything up one more power anyways. So, a lot of good play lines there. Now, I've been playing a lot of Panther Nimrod together, so I'm excited to try him out in this one. So I've replaced like the Galacta and the Shuri and things like that back with Wong. You can probably find a video that I've done on what that deck looks like, but I've replaced it with Wong, and basically it doesn't matter if Venom eats the lane because he's going to get all the power, right? And then send the Nimrod over. So you can do something like, I'm thinking Zabu or Psylocke, whatever, to get Doom 2099 on 3. Then you symbiote Spider-Man on 4 into Nimrod, into Venom. And you're doing just 1, 1, 1. So you're getting all that Doom bots across the board, right? Or you can do something like Black Panther and then Arnim Zola, and you're splitting the Black Panther. But even if you happen to hit a Doombot 2099 with Arnim Zola instead of the Black Panther, you're still getting, now you've just doubled up that Doombot 2099, and one will add at the end of the game, at the end of turn 6. So massive bump there. I see a lot of really cool playlines with that. Now, the spotlights this week are going to be Meek and Daken. So I'm thinking maybe the devs were onto something, or somebody in the playtest group was onto something, right? Got to be something where you play Doom 2099 early, then maybe Dracula into MODOK, or who knows. I'm thinking maybe Moon Knight substitutes out for Magic, and you get that extra turn, and then you can play some things. I'm not sure how it looks, but I know there's got to be something there. And then Darkhawk. Darkhawk is a deck that has been consistently on top, but it's not popular pretty much anymore. But it is usually 1 card a turn, right? I don't have Black Widow in this deck, but you could easily put in Black Widow, substitute out maybe the White Widow. But it's generally 1 card a turn now. There used to be some shenanigans with Zabu getting, you do like 2 cards on turn 6. But now that Darkhawk's moved to a 5 cost, that's no longer possible. And it doesn't even matter, because with the Doom 2099, you're going to be able to put out more power in the lanes that Darkhawk isn't in, and that's where it struggled the most. And you can do Doom 2099 into Darkhawk into Onslaught in the Darkhawk lane, or even not in the Darkhawk lane. You could do it if your Doom bots are stacking up in another lane. You can do something like Darkhawk and then Odin on the Rockslide Korg lane. You can do so many things. You could even throw in Electro in here for a turn 3. That way you can ramp into maybe Doctor Doom and then finish off with Darkhawk. That way Darkhawk has a chance to miss like the Rogue or the Enchantress, what have you. So, yeah, those are the decks. I think this is going to be a phenomenal card, no matter what you play. Obviously, a lot of flexibility in the card, as you can see. Thank you for watching the video. Do appreciate a like, subscribe, all that good stuff.